The tomb of Michael Jackson has been opened after 15 years, and what was discovered inside is beyond imagination. Experts, the media, and fans of the King of Pop are in shock. Nothing went as expected. Why this sudden opening? What did they really find inside? Is Michael Jackson truly resting where everyone believed he was? Since his passing in 2009, mysteries and conspiracy theories have surrounded his death. Some have always questioned the official circumstances, while others believe that MJ may have orchestrated his own disappearance. Today, after years of silence, a shocking and unexpected revelation is shaking all certainties. Prepare yourself to uncover disturbing details, buried secrets, and a truth that could change everything. Stay until the end. What you are about to hear might make you question everything you thought you knew about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, known as the King of Pop, was not just a talented artist. He was a cultural phenomenon, a living legend whose influence extended far beyond music. With a career spanning over 4 decades, he revolutionized the entertainment industry, leaving an indelible mark on music, dance, and fashion. From his early days singing alongside his brothers in the Jackson 5 to his meteoric rise as a solo artist, he captivated audiences with his powerful voice, spectacular performances, and unmistakable style. His moonwalk, which became a legendary signature move, dazzled millions of fans, while albums like Thriller, Bad, and Dangerous broke sales records and defined the modern pop era. But behind this phenomenal fame was a tormented life, marked by constant media scrutiny, legal battles, and an internal struggle against insomnia and stress. And it was in this context that, on June 25, 2009, a shocking announcement shook the entire world. Michael Jackson was dead. The artist who had inspired entire generations, who had transcended cultural and musical boundaries, was gone as suddenly as mysteriously. His death not only left his fans in disbelief but also opened the door to a series of troubling questions that, even today, remain unanswered. In the months leading up to his death, Michael Jackson was preparing for a spectacular return to the stage with his This Is It tour, a series of concerts scheduled at London's O2 Arena. It was meant to be his grand comeback, an opportunity for him to reconnect with his audience after years away from the spotlight. However, behind the scenes, the reality was much darker. Testimonies from close associates and collaborators revealed that he was exhausted, anxious, and struggling with deep psychological distress. He suffered from severe insomnia, intense stress, and overwhelming pressure related to the preparation for these monumental shows. A perfectionist at heart, Michael Jackson wanted to deliver a breathtaking performance, one that lived up to his legendary reputation. But at what cost? The physical demands of rehearsals, combined with his fragile condition, led to extreme exhaustion. He reportedly confided in some of his inner circle that he felt trapped, burdened by the obligation to perform at any cost. On the morning of June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson collapsed in his Los Angeles residence. At 12:21 p.m., an emergency call was made. When paramedics arrived, they found the artist unresponsive, without a pulse. Despite desperate attempts to revive him, he was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. at UCLA Medical Center. The investigation soon revealed a troubling cause of death: acute propofol intoxication, a powerful anesthetic typically used in hospital settings. This medication, administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, proved fatal. But several inconsistencies emerged. Why was such a potent drug administered at home without proper medical supervision? Why did Dr. Murray take so long to call for help? Why were emergency protocols not followed? These questions led to a high-profile trial. In 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. However, he served only 2 years, leaving behind a sea of doubts and speculation. After his death, another mystery surfaced: his secretive burial. Unlike other celebrities, Michael Jackson's casket remained closed from start to finish. During the televised memorial service at the Staples Center, broadcast worldwide, his gold-plated casket stood at the center of the stage, yet no one was allowed to see his body. Unlike icons such as Elvis Presley or James Brown, whose bodies were publicly displayed, Michael Jackson was buried away from prying eyes, without anyone being able to confirm his presence inside the tomb. His family never provided an official explanation for this decision, fueling growing conspiracy theories. Some believe he faked his death to escape media pressure, while others suspect an orchestrated disappearance to protect an untold secret. 15 years after his passing, an unexpected event has changed everything. For legal and medical reasons, authorities have decided to open Michael Jackson's tomb for verification purposes. As the legal team proceeds with the exhumation, the tension is unbearable. Millions of fans, journalists from around the world, and investigators hold their breath, waiting for this historic moment. But what they discover is beyond comprehension. The casket is empty. A stunned silence falls over the scene. No sign of the King of Pop. No body, no remains, no explanation. This shocking revelation reignites all previous speculations. Where is Michael Jackson really? Was he secretly relocated? Has his body been hidden elsewhere? Or worse, was he ever there at all? This unexpected twist plunges the world into a new quest for truth. While some see this as evidence of a voluntary disappearance, others believe it exposes a long-hidden scandal. To this day, the shadow of Michael Jackson still looms over the music world. His influence is stronger than ever, his legacy remains unmatched, and his name continues to resonate across generations. But one question remains: what really happened? As new revelations continue to emerge, one thing is certain: the story of the King of Pop is far from over. On the night of June 24, 2009, after an intense rehearsal for his highly anticipated This Is It tour, Michael Jackson returned home exhausted. Those close to him later stated that he seemed particularly fatigued that evening, yet still determined to give his all for his grand comeback. However, despite his excitement for the upcoming performances, he was plagued by a persistent and troubling issue: his severe, long-standing insomnia. As usual, he tried to sleep, but his body refused to rest. Faced with this situation, his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, was called in to help. According to later testimonies, Michael allegedly begged his doctor to administer a strong sedative, fearing that he would not be in good shape for rehearsals the next day. At that point, Dr. Murray gave him several medications, including lorazepam and midazolam, but nothing seemed to work. Desperate to find sleep, Michael reportedly requested propofol, a powerful anesthetic used in hospital settings, which he referred to as his milk, due to its milky appearance. At 10:40 a.m., after multiple unsuccessful attempts with other substances, Conrad Murray administered a dose of propofol to the singer, intending to finally help him sleep. At that moment, the fate of the King of Pop took an irreversible turn. Minutes after the injection, Michael Jackson suddenly stopped breathing. His heart rate slowed and eventually came to a halt. Yet instead of calling for emergency services immediately, Conrad Murray inexplicably hesitated. Precious minutes passed before the doctor attempted resuscitation. Why such a critical delay? Later investigations revealed that instead of immediately dialing 911, Murray allegedly tried to conceal evidence, including vials of medication and used syringes. Finally, at 12:21 p.m., an emergency call was made. But by the time paramedics arrived, Michael Jackson's body was unresponsive, showing no signs of life. Despite resuscitation efforts, he was rushed to UCLA Medical Center, where he was officially pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. Almost immediately, the circumstances of his passing raised a flood of questions. Why did Conrad Murray take so long to call for help? Why administer such a powerful anesthetic without the necessary medical equipment to monitor the patient? Why not act faster when Michael was clearly in distress? The official autopsy concluded that the cause of death was acute propofol intoxication, confirming that Michael Jackson had died due to an excessive dose of the drug. However, the medical report also found traces of other sedatives in his system, suggesting that his body was already weakened before the fatal injection. On November 7, 2011, after a highly publicized trial, Conrad Murray was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. However, he served only 2 years before being released for good behavior. Despite the conviction, suspicions remained. Many believe that Conrad Murray was merely a scapegoat and that other powerful forces were involved in Michael Jackson's death. Among the most debated theories, a premeditated murder? Some speculate that influential figures wanted to eliminate Michael Jackson due to financial disputes and conflicts over his estate. Unbearable psychological pressure? Was he pushed to his limits by those around him, forced into a grueling rehearsal schedule and relentless stress? A staged disappearance? Others even claim that Michael Jackson faked his death to escape the overwhelming pressures of fame and live in secrecy. More than 15 years after his passing, the mystery surrounding Michael Jackson's death continues to intrigue, divide, and fascinate the world. On September 3, 2009, more than 2 months after his death, Michael Jackson was finally laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in California. However, from the very beginning, a series of troubling details cast a shadow over the event, raising more questions than answers. His casket remained permanently sealed, with no official confirmation that his body was actually inside. Unlike many other celebrities, there was never a final viewing, not even for close friends or extended family members. Unlike other high-profile figures, no post-mortem images of him were ever released to the public, a stark contrast to figures like Elvis Presley and James Brown, whose remains were seen before burial. On the night before his burial, a mysterious vehicle was seen leaving the coroner's office under unclear circumstances, with no official records detailing its purpose or destination. These unusual occurrences sparked immediate speculation and fueled countless theories. Why so much secrecy? Was it simply an effort to preserve Michael Jackson's dignity and legacy, to shield his image from public scrutiny one last time, or was something far more shocking being hidden from the world? Even years later, questions surrounding his burial continue to fuel speculation and doubts. If Michael Jackson was truly inside that lavish golden casket, why go to such extreme lengths to ensure no one could ever see his body, not even his most trusted loved ones? And if he wasn't, what really happened on that fateful night? Could it be that the world had been deceived all along? After 15 years of endless speculation, a historic decision is made. Michael Jackson's tomb will be opened for legal and medical reasons. The announcement shakes the world to its core. Fans, journalists, and investigators rush to Forest Lawn Memorial Park, eager to finally uncover the truth. The air is thick with tension, a strange mix of anticipation and fear. As the moment arrives, the massive doors of the mausoleum slowly swing open. A team of forensic experts, under the watchful eyes of the world, methodically moves toward the golden casket. Every movement is measured, every action deliberate. A hushed silence falls over the spectators. Cameras flash. Live broadcasts capture every second. Everyone is holding their breath as the lid of the casket is carefully lifted. But what they find inside stuns the world. The casket is empty. An audible gasp ripples through the gathered crowd. Shock, disbelief, and confusion flood the scene. Could it be true? Had the world been deceived for over a decade? Where is Michael Jackson? What was meant to be the moment of closure only deepens the mystery. The disbelief is overwhelming. No trace of the King of Pop. No body. No explanation. Journalists, investigators, and devoted fans stand in utter shock, unable to process what they are witnessing. The world is frozen in time, grappling with the gravity of this revelation. If Michael Jackson isn't in his tomb, then where is he? This discovery immediately reignites conspiracy theories that have been circulating for years. Did Michael Jackson fake his own death to escape the crushing pressure of fame? Was his body secretly moved to an undisclosed location by those who wished to hide the truth? Or was he the victim of a much larger, more sinister conspiracy that has remained hidden for over a decade? The more people try to understand, the more questions arise. Could it be that the King of Pop was never truly laid to rest? Instead of providing closure, this shocking revelation only deepens the mystery. Michael Jackson may no longer be physically present, but one thing is certain: his enigma, his music, and his legacy will endure forever, leaving the world with an unanswered question that may never be solved. Even today, the world continues to search for answers. More than a decade has passed since the shocking announcement of Michael Jackson's death, Yet the questions surrounding his final moments and resting place remain as puzzling as ever. For years, fans, journalists, and investigators have examined every piece of evidence, every statement, and every inconsistency in the official narrative. However, instead of bringing closure, each new revelation only adds to the mystery. Was his passing truly the result of a tragic medical mistake, or is there something much more deeply hidden from the public eye? Some believe that the story we've been told is incomplete, that there are missing pieces deliberately kept from the world. Others question the secrecy surrounding his burial, pointing to the strange circumstances of his funeral, the tightly guarded crypt, and the persistent rumors of a hidden truth. Could it be that the full truth about Michael Jackson will never be completely revealed? Or are we closer than ever to uncovering something that could change everything we thought we knew about the King of Pop? What do you think about this shocking discovery? Did Michael Jackson really pass away in 2009, or could something far more mysterious be going on behind the scenes? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments. Let's uncover the truth together.